My name is Tennyson Williams. I'm the Director for Africa for World Animal Protection. The role is very simple. It is offering the alternative that we think is best going to solve our problems from a food systems, food self-sufficiency point of view. I say so because what we have been experiencing over time, especially in recent times, is borrowing a lot from the global north into our practice to feed ourselves. And it is evident that that type of approach is not going to help us for many reasons. But more so, we are focusing our argument around the implications this has for animals and ultimately the implications for humans as well. Because animals, as we see them being produced these days, my friend, it's unbelievable what they go through. We can leave that for a moment in terms of the implications of these industrial, massive systems of food production and the implications they have on the animal. But we want to also look at the fact that there are a lot of other hidden things that those systems have. The actual costs of producing food from those systems is hardly ever exposed to us. So we have said we don't need that. Number two, the linkage between those systems and the climate crisis is becoming more apparent. Earlier, the focus was like fossil fuel is the biggest problem and contributor to the climate crisis. But industrial animal agriculture is another big culprit. And of course, as I said, within those systems, animals suffer a lot. So when you look at the suffering of animals, and you look at the contribution of animal agriculture, industrial animal, to the climate crisis, I think there is no better reason why we need to rethink. And hence we are promoting very strongly the concept of agroecology. And agroecology may just be another new terminology, but this is something that has been with us for a long time. Because in Africa, I can tell you, over 70% of the food we consume already comes from such systems that are produced by our smallholder farmers. What we are saying is government, donors, private sector must put more into those systems. We don't need to industrialize our agricultural system to feed ourselves. We don't need to look like the way China produces food, like the way US produces food. And our traditional food systems are also there. We should be making frantic efforts to go back to those systems and have more healthier diets, and we can live a lot more longer. Lifestyle is killing our people. And a lot of this lifestyle is food associated, and we got to watch that space. And hence that's the call we are making. From a policy dimension, we must look at that. The governance arrangements in place right now don't favor that. The financier who finance global agriculture, the banks, smallholder farmers don't easily access money from those systems. And we are saying that should change. It's not fair to begin to put conditions in terms of access to agricultural finance. You put the same system for a smallholder farmer that you want a big corporate to also, they can't compete. So this is really the call. And I'm pleased that what we are discussing here today, there have been a lot of experiences shared that we need to look at how we can promote agroecology. But for us, World Animal Protection, in the context of that debate, we are saying the animal must be looked after. The welfare of the animals. Animals must enjoy their 5 freedoms. They should be free from disease, free from hunger and thirst. They must be free from discomfort. They must be free from fear. All these things are not good for our animals. If we ensure that these systems exist, and I can tell you, it doesn't take much to make sure those systems are there. That's the argument we are offering. Okay. The new realization is that there is a new climate culprit, and that climate culprit is industrial agriculture. It is very evident, scientifically proven, research proven, that industrial animal agriculture contributes to carbon emission, which is also a key element, greenhouse gas emission, which is a key contributor to climate crisis. So ahead of especially the 30th COP which takes place in Brazil in 2025. This year's COP is about the financing architecture, how we can finance agriculture, how we can finance climate change, how we can finance all these aspects. Financing for loss and damage, all these things must be such that the pledges made must be fulfilled. But in 2025, at COP30, that is where we are targeting, because the focus more is going to be on the kind of argument that we have around our food systems. So 2024, COP29 will be a build-up to COP30 in 2025. And hence we are asking that all of us must make the conscious effort. Don't leave the climate engagement conversations only in the hands of climate experts. Food experts, agricultural experts, health experts, we all must jump on board, because this is in our interest.